Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of the Pond Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the first game of the series. Last night, it was rained out between the Yomiuri Giants and the Yokohama DeNA BayStars. These two division rivals in the Central League will go head-to-head, but the star of the night tonight for us in North America is that Trevor Bauer is going to be taking to the hill for the BayStars. Originally was scheduled to pitch in last night's ball game, but he will get the ball here tonight against the Yomiuri Giants. We're going to just take a brief little timeout, and then we are going to come back and give you tonight's starting lineups, as it is the BayStars and the Giants when we return in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the BayStars and the Giants here tonight. We're going to give you the starting lineup, first of all, from the visitors from Tokyo. The Yomiuri Giants will send the shortstop, number 35, Yuta Izaguchi, to the hill, or to the bat first. Be followed by Trey Cabbage in right field. Hitting third is going to be Naoki Yoshikawa. Hitting in the cleanup spot will be Kaz Okamoto. He'll play third base. Doing the catching and batting fifth is Takuya Kai. Hitting sixth at first base is Riku Masuda. Batting seventh in left field is Raito Nakayama. Hitting eighth in center field is Masaya Hajio. And batting ninth and doing the pitching is Yuji Akahoshi. And they're going to be facing Trevor Bauer, who will take to the hill tonight for Yokohama, as he will be the one getting the nod for the BayStars. Well, your starting lineup for the Yokohama DeNA BayStars tonight. Leading off and playing third base is number 26, Masaki Momori. Batting second and in left field is going to be number 61, Tetsuo Ibina. And then hitting third and right field is number 4, Ryuki Watari. In the cleanup spot and playing at second base is number 2, Shugo Maki. Batting fifth at first base is number 7, Kaida Sano. Hitting sixth and doing the catching is number 5, Cheyenne Matsuo. Batting seventh and playing in center field tonight is Koki Kajiwara. He wears number 58. The shortstop for the ball game tonight for the BayStars is going to be Ishigami. He is going to bat in the 8th spot. And batting ninth is Trevor Bauer. He wears 96, and he will doing the pitching. That is our lineup, and that is where we're at. We're going to be back in just a couple moments as the first pitch is just around the corner. Hang tight, everybody. Trevor Bauer getting his tune-up tosses in, and we'll be right back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for being here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order. It'll be Izaguchi, Cabbage, and Yoshikawa to come to bat here to face Trevor Bauer to get this one going here in inning number 1. And we welcome back WJR7 in the house here tonight. He says, hello, guys, and we welcome you for being here. As we are going to get this one about underway here in just a moment. We were a little bit delayed in getting ourselves set up, as we had to rush to do that. The first pitch of the ball game is a fastball swung on. It is going to be lined into right field, and it's going to get down for a base hit. So Trevor Bauer, the first pitch of the ball game, sees his no-hitter go away, as Izaguchi is aboard with a leadoff single, and that is going to bring up the right fielder in Trey Cabbage. Fastball right down the middle. Like he knew it was coming, and so there you go. Bauer has given up a base hit. Brings Cabbage to the plate. Cabbage hitting an even 300, 5 homers and 11 runs batted in. He's getting the nod to play in right field tonight. He has been a steady player so far for the BayStars for the Giants when he's been healthy. As he's facing the BayStars here, the 28-year-old. As Bauer now works from the stretch position, slide step, and it's a breaking ball that misses down. Count as 1 ball and no strikes to Cabbage. Ishiguchi, Cabbage, and Yoshikawa to get things going here. And so with Ishiguchi at first, right-hander Bauer working from the stretch. Beautiful sunny day in Yokohama after a day of rain yesterday. It was supposed to be, the first game was supposed to go off yesterday, but the rains had cometh. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Bauer gets himself ready to go again. He's leading in, getting the sign from his catcher Matsuo. Right-hander holds to the set. And now he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike, BayStars and Giants from Yokohama. Just trying to get some of our other information caught up. We were a little bit behind on some of our pieces tonight. As I said, I told you what the reason was. We'd probably have greater laughter. I'd be in a stand-up comedy. As the 2-1 on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just past the bag at first base. And that runs the count even to Cabbage at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. You ever get frazzled sometimes when you lose your keys or you lock yourself out? Well, we had all of that and more. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander holds himself to the set. Now delivers. Breaking ball misses down. There goes the runner. Throw down to second, and it's in time. It's going to get the runner. That's going to be caught stealing 2-6. Oh, it was a really good throw there by Matsuo. I don't think they're going to challenge that one. That's going to put Izaguchi in the books. Oh, maybe they are going to challenge. So let's pump the tires for a second. He was running off the field, and the manager, Abe, for the Giants has decided that they want to go and take a look at this on VAR. So an early challenge here. We'll get a look at the replay when it comes available. We'll let you know what our thoughts are. We've been mediocre this year in terms of the efforts. We'll get a look here. At first glance, it looks like the throw was in time. The angle that we got on the first one looks like he tagged him on the backside. So the shortstop was covering. We get a different angle here from behind home plate. Maybe not. It gets to a point where you have to wonder sometimes if it's too close to tell, although I have to say that the last angle we saw looks like that's going to uphold the call. I don't know if there's enough to turn it over. Certainly the first angle that we got from the first base side couldn't particularly tell. We got a different angle now coming from third base, and as we get that angle, can't really tell if the ball was there, the tag was down, but did it actually engage into the leg of the runner? So they may have their hands full here. I have a feeling that they're going to uphold the call here. As we wait for this, it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cabbage. Full slate of games scheduled tonight. As we said, this one was washed out last night, so this is the first game of the series. Originally, Trevor Bauer was to be the Friday night starter for the BayStars, but he got bumped forward a little bit. The replays that we keep getting, there's nothing that's really conclusive. We almost need like a center field angle. Here comes the umpire. We're going to see what they have to say. And up goes the right hand. They're going to say that. WJR says, his whole stream is a minute behind yours, just letting you know. Seems like I'm slow to say something. Usually our stream is about 15-second delay from the actual time of what goes on in the game. I know when I was in Chiba last year, I was watching the game on my phone as it's 3-2 coming up here to Cabbage. As the right-hander Bauer rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. So when I was watching the game on my phone, I had the game in front of me, and there was about a good solid 20 to 22 seconds between what was going on in the game and what was happening on my phone. And so as the 3-2 pitch from Bauer is bounced up to the plate, it's going to be ball 4. Cabbage is going to get himself a walk. And that'll bring up the second baseman at Naoki Yoshikawa. WJR says his stream's a whole minute behind. So depending on the stream that you have and where we're at and how that ends up working, sometimes that is the case. And that's why I kind of wonder about all that live betting that takes place sometimes, if you're able to do it, especially if you're watching on the internet or watching on TV when there's no delays, or if there is a delay, how people, when they do their gambling, can actually do it. So that brings Yoshikawa to the plate. He's hitting .319 on the season, no homers and 16 RBIs. Right-hander Bauer working himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded back to the pitcher. He goes to second for 1, back to first. It's a double play, and that is going to end the inning. It goes in the books as a 1-6-3 double play. And that will do it here as Cabbage is erased at second. So Bauer not necessarily sharp in the first inning, but he's able to get some fortunate results. He gets himself a double play and a caught stealing, and he's out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Your score as we go to the bottom of the first inning, it is the Giants 0 and the BayStars coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate you guys for popping in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. WJR and Davey, how you doing? Well, we're doing pretty good. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Davey says, who's pitching for the BayStars? It is Trevor Bauer going today. It'll be Masaki Momori, Tetsuo Ibina, and Ryuki Watari to come to bat here for Yokohama in the bottom half of inning number 1. As the first pitch on the way to Momori, it's a fastball swung on. It is belted foul well down the right field line. He hooks it into the seats about halfway up. So no balls and 1 strike. Yeah, you missed the top half inning. Bauer had not a great first inning. He allowed a single, then they threw the runner out stealing second. Then he walked Trey Cabbage. He was able to get Yoshikawa to ground into a double play. So I would call it a very fortunate inning, as he had himself in a little bit of a pickle and was able to wiggle it out. There's a fastball that's taken at the knees, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Davey says he's his favorite pitcher. Yeah, he's has a little bit of unfortunate luck this year so far. He's pitched well enough to win in some games. I don't know if he pitched well enough to win in the last start against the Tigers, giving up 4 runs in 7 innings, but his other starts were certainly well enough to get a victory or 2. As it's no balls, 2 strikes, as Momori had asked for time. He's right on the chalk line, and the pitch is swung on. It's grounded over to third, fielded neatly by the third baseman Okamoto, who fires to first. He's going to retire Momori on a ground-out 5-3. He's in the books for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the left fielder in Tetsuo Ibina. First inning went so unconventionally quick in a way. We didn't give you the lineup for the defensive lineup for Yokohama, but we will do it for the Giants here at the bottom of the first. The outfield from left to right, it is Nakayama is in left. The center fielder for the Giants is Hajio, and in right field, it's Cabbage. Around the horn from first to third, you've got Masuda at first, Yoshikawa at second, Izaguchi at short, with Okamoto at third with the battery of Akahoshi and Kai, as that first pitch misses down and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander delivers. There is a fastball that is taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1 to Abina. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Davey says he's been lucky. Lazarus says any chance where he watched the game, as there's a fastball that is swung on, is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back underneath it is the center fielder Hajio, and he's going to make the catch, and that's going to retire Abina for the second out of the inning. So some people come in and ask for where they can watch the game. We've got enough streams here, so if you've been to our channel before and in the past, we've got all kinds of places that you can look. We do some of that. We'll fill you in sometimes as we go through the game. But your biggest thing is you got to have a VPN. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-0 on Watari. Watari on the season, batting .296 with a couple of homers and 6 RBIs. As the pitch is swung on, it's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count is quickly 1 ball and 1 strike here on Watari. We provide a service. It's for live English commentary. If you're able to find a stream, that's great. You can sync it up with us. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to the right fielder of the BayStars. And again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses down and in, and count goes to 2-2. Akahoshi on the season has a pretty good pitching line. He's got 2 wins and 3 losses, but what stands out for me, he's thrown 26 innings, and he's yet to walk a batter. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-2. And in saying that, that might be the broadcaster's kiss of death. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on, is grounded over the right side, fielded neatly by the second baseman, Yoshikawa. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 4-3 to end the inning, and that is going to do it here for the BayStars. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. When we come back, we'll give our friend Lazarus a few pieces of information, and then you can go and find it from there. We'll be right back after this. It is 0-0 as we move to the second inning. Moving ourselves to the top half of the second inning. So a few people are asking where you go, where you might get it. Well, Tokyo Broadcasting System sometimes will carry the games. J-Sport will also carry the games. You also have Amazon Prime and Yahoo at your disposal. So those would be places that I would go and investigate. And those would be the ones where you're at. If you're in Japan, well, then you know where to know. And so if you're not in Japan, if you're in the States, if you're in Europe, wherever it is you might listen, then you're going to have to do a little bit more digging. But those are the first 4 leads you can take a look at. If you're looking for the free streams, you got to check out the Chinese and Google yourself up Live QQ. But I don't know if this one should be streamed at that point, but it's a bit sketchy sometimes on the quality. The first pitch is a breaking ball delivered to Kaz Okamoto. It's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Bauer only threw 9 pitches in that first inning, as there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count runs even to 1-1 on Okamoto. One thing I would say is that Trevor Bauer's got to be in his element. When we saw him pitch the last time against the Dragons, he threw 129 pitches in 8 innings. A pitcher's dream in Japan, not like in North America where it's 85 and a fly, or sometimes they're lucky to get into 90. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count goes to 1-2 on Okamoto. Okamoto had Bauer's number a couple of years ago when he pitched in the NPB. He homered off him a couple of times. Bauer's convinced this guy's going to play in the MLB. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know. I don't think he can play at third base. I don't think he has the footwork to do that. Breaking ball misses down, and the count's now 2-2. And if he goes over and plays at first base, I wonder how much pop in the stick he's going to have. Would he be able to hit 20 home runs in Major League Baseball? Because playing in the MLB and playing in the NPB are two different animals. Just ask Yoshi Satsugo what his time in Major League Baseball was like. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as he kicks and delivers, does Bauer. It's a fastball that misses outside. Count now goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yokohama wearing their, or the Yomiuri wearing their road grays. Yokohama in their home whites today. As Bauer kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. A nice play there by Momori as he takes it on the short up. Fires to first. It's a ground out 5-3. And Okamoto has gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Takuya Kai to the plate. Well, Takuya Kai is hitting .310 on the season. He's got a couple of homers and 9 RBIs. Whatever is in the water that he's drinking in Tokyo, he needs to continue to do it. He's been swinging a pretty good bat. And the first pitch is a breaking ball. It drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Long-time Fukuoka SoftBank hawk catcher. Donning the gear for the Giants as the pitch is on the way. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Momori feels that he fires to first. And that is going to retire Kai on a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the first baseman in Riku Masuda. WJR says the latest post on his channel may be able to help. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we get people that come in on a regular basis and they want, we've got people that have been listening to the channel for the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years. And over the last few years, we've provided so much information on to be able to do it, especially some of the people that are in our channel. First pitch fastball delivered to Riku Masuda, taken for a called strike. Defensively, tonight for the BayStars, we got to get this done before the inning is over. Abina's in left. The center fielder is Kajiwara, and in right field it is Watari. As that pitch misses down, the count's 1-1. Around the horn from first to third, Sano is at first. You got Maki at second. The shortstop is Ishikami. Third baseman Momori with the battery of Bauer and Matsuo as that fastball is center cut for a called strike, and the count's 1-2 on Masuda. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as Bauer ready to go again. He rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses in the left-handed batter's box, and the count runs even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the first baseman of the Giants. Masuda's hitting .333 on the year, no homers and 2 runs batted in. Getting the start tonight at first base. Bauer gets his sign, and now he rocks himself into the windup. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on. It's bit of a defensive swing as it's lifted into the seats above the first base dugout, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. I was saying it was a beautiful day in Yokohama today, especially after yesterday with the rain that washed out the game. We were a little disappointed. I wasn't going to be able to do last night's game. Just couldn't get up at our time here to be able to make it work. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. The count now runs full to Masuda. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. This is the third batter of 6 that Bauer has gone to a full count on. We'll have to keep our eye there tonight to see if his pitch efficiency is a little bit better. He was complaining on his YouTube channel the other day about him with the pitches. There's a fastball that is upstairs. The batter tried to hold up. He checked his swing, couldn't do it. And Trevor Bauer has got himself a sword here, as that is going to retire Masuda on strikes. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and the Giants go in order here in inning number 2. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're now through 1.5. Your score is the BayStars nothing and the Giants nothing. Hang with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel. We'll come back and chat with the chat when we have to in just a few. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom half of inning number 2, and slated to come to bat will be the heart of the batting order for the BayStars. That means Shugo Maki, Kaita Sano, and Shion Matsuo. You face the right-hander Yuji Akahoshi. I started to talk a little bit about Akahoshi and his numbers. We were saying the one thing that really popped for us in the pregame, 26 innings pitched and 0 walks. He does have 21 strikeouts. He is more of a pitch-to-contact type of hitter. That is a pretty impressive number by any standards. If you're not walking anybody, you got to be around the zone for sure. 27-year-old Maki steps in. He's hitting .276 on the year, 4 homers and 20 runs driven in. As the pitch is a breaking ball, swung on it, is lined into left field. It's going to go down for a base hit. And Mackey's aboard with a leadoff single. That is going to put him on at first. That'll bring up Kaita Sano to the plate. Mike Larry says he likes the KBO better. Feels like it's easier to watch and to find stats about the KBO. The latter part is probably true. I don't know if it's easier to watch. Maybe easier in terms of being able to find games, so that part might be true. I wasn't a huge fan of the KBO when I was watching it during the blip in 2020. And as my opinion on that is that some of the top teams in the Korean League are really good. As it is Sano who steps in here batting from the left side. First pitch on the way, breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the first base side. Count is quickly 0-1 to Sano. But I find that some of the lower teams in the league, when we were watching it, it was just hard to watch some of the players. It looked like you had, major league kind of quality players. You had minor league players, and you had high school caliber players all on the same field. But that is just our opinion on that. No balls and 1 strike to Sano as the right-hander works to the set. Pitch on the way, fastball that's missed inside. The count goes to 1-1. But to your point about finding stats, sometimes finding stats is different. When I was in Japan the last couple of years, there's a app on the phone, Sports Navi or Sport Navi, and it's got a lot of great information. Like, problem is it's in kanji, so you're going to have to be able to translate that or get that translated through your phone. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 1-2, but anything that's in English, or I say in the North American script, can be a very, very difficult thing to be able to have to find. So to Mike Leary's point, that is definitely an issue and a problem. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball swung on it, is looped softly into left field, coming in on it with room to make the catch as the left fielder Nakayama, and that's going to retire Sano. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and it's bring up the catcher, Shion Matsuo. I thought at first that might have looked like a breaking ball with the depth, but it looked like it was a low 3/4 arm split-fingered pitch. Had a bit of a weird action to it. Looked like it was more of a 12-6 breaking ball, but Akahoshi was able to get the batter out in front of that one. So Matsuo steps in, batting from the right side, the catcher for the BayStars, and the first pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on it, has broken his bat, and he's going to loop it over the shortstop into left center field, and it's going to get away. Here comes the runner trying to go for third. The throw is not going to be in time. Oh, that's some heads-up base running there by Shugo Maki. Maki stopped at second base as he saw that the ball was going to get down, but then the ball trickled away from the outfielder. It looked like as he tried to make the catch, and it hit his body and went away further. And heads-up base running by Maki, also heads-up base running by Matsuo. As we'll get a look at the replay again on that. Just sawed him right off on the handle. I see what it was. As he went to pick it up, he tried to field it with his bare hand, and he ended up, the shortstop, Izuguchi, ended up knocking it further into the outfield. We'll have to wait to see how the scorers are going to award that one. It's definitely a single for Matsuo. The question will be, will it be an error on the shortstop that allowed the runner to go to second base and the base runner Maki to go to third? Well, Koki Kajiwara steps into the plate, and the first pitch to him is a fastball that catches the inside corner. Count is quickly 0-1. The 25-year-old Kajiwara batting a little bit lower in the lineup from when we saw him. He's hitting .237 with a homer and 6 RBIs. The infield is in here for the BayStars. As the right-handed pitcher, Kahoshi holds it to set, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on and line foul down the left field line, and the count is 0-2 on Kajiwara. So no balls and 2 strikes. It'll be Ishikami and then Trevor Bauer to come to bat here. So this will be an important spot of the batting order here if they can get themselves a base hit. 1 gone here. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. BayStars that you'd like to think have got to get something out of this one, with 2 runners in scoring position and only 1 out. Outfield is also in a little bit shallow, looking like they want to try to throw that runner out at the plate, trying to score from second. Infield is in as the right-hander works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. The 1-2 is on the way. It is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Mike says, Bauer not going to get any Ks. He's already got 1 in the game. Got 1 in the book. I would say probably he'll get his share of 5 or 6. There's a ball that's in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher, Kai. But the home plate umpire has called time as it looks like the ball was fouled away. We'll get a look at the replay on that. But the ball had trickled away from Kai up the first baseline, and charging home was Mackey. We'll look at that one again. Oh, boy, I'm not so sure about that. Oh, well, maybe it was because the batter, I don't know. The batter said he had fouled it off, and then the plate umpire agreed with him. I'm not so sure it was. That could have been a run for the BayStars. But Kajiwara wants to hit. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and now he's going to be retired. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So just to take you back to that play, he had swung at the pitch in the dirt. He had claimed to the umpire that he had fouled it off. If he probably didn't foul it off, it would have been strike 3, but the ball would have squirted away from Kai, and more than likely Shugo Maki would have been able to score from third. Well, that brings Taiki Ishikami to the plate. And it looks like they've held up the 4 fingers. Ishikami, the shortstop, is going to get himself a base on balls, and that's going to bring Trevor Bauer to the plate. Well, as we probably all know, Bauer is not exactly the most renowned hitter in his career. Had a similar situation the other night when they played the Hanshin Tigers. He did have a couple of pretty good swings, but he's got to find a way to help his own cause here. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that he swings on and misses. That pitch would have been a ball, but it's 0-1 here to Bauer. 0 for 8 on the season. They are playing him in the infield, more to the opposite field side. There's a fastball center cut for a called strike. The count's 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I say I do like it when the pitchers hit. I think it just makes the game a whole lot more entertaining. I'd rather see pitchers hit than hitters pitch, especially when they're throwing the 30-mile-an-hour muffins up to the plate. And there's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Bauer stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3. No sword delivered there by the Japanese pitcher. And Bauer is down on strikes. No runs in the inning, 2 hits, no errors, and 3 BayStars left the board. Now moving to the top of the 3rd inning, your score is the Giants 0 and the BayStars 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you for being here. Welcome back, everybody. This is our friend Steve Rademacher. He's going to tell you a little bit about himself, and he'll be with us through the evening and some of our in-between inning entertainment. We'll be right back after this.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat for the Giants. That's Nakayama, Hajio, and Akahoshi to face Trevor Bauer here in inning number 3. Bauer, the first inning, he got himself a little bit of help. He had allowed a single to Izaguchi. He was thrown out trying to steal second. After a walk to Trey Cabbage, he was able to induce Yoshikawa to hit into a double play. And he was able to get out of that jam on only 9 pitches. In the second inning, he was able to get the Giants a 1-2-3, and now it's the bottom third of the order here to face him here to start the top of the third inning. So Shugo Maki, he had himself a pretty heads-up piece of base running over there in that last half inning, as did the catcher Matsuo, but unable to cash the runs in or the BayStars. They're going to be lamenting their opportunity there, stranding the bases loaded. Well, Bauer's completed his tune-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action as Nakayama has stepped in, the right-hander ready to go, and he kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I'm starting to say, if you got a chance to check out Bauer's channel, he was lamenting the fact that he wasn't able to get a lot ahead in the count. A lot of first pitch strikes were a problem for him in the middle 3 frames, as there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-2. Not able to get a lot of pitches that were working for him in that middle 3 frames against the Tigers. 0-2 on the way. Fastball misses way upstairs. The count goes to 1-2. What I find interesting, and he talks a lot about it on his channel, as I said before, is he talks about sleep patterns. That's, of course, eating and his diet and everything else. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed. And they went to apply the tag. The home plate umpire said, nope, didn't get him. And they're going to have to throw to first, and it's going to be a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. Nakayama is retired for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the center fielder in Masaya Hajio. So the right-hander ready to go. He kicks and he fires. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Hajio. Hajio batting 167 on the year. No homers and no RBIs. He gets the start in center field. Haven't seen any updates on Yoshihiro Maru, who had popped his hamstring, as the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. He's been out for quite some time. And they expected him to be out for a time. I thought it was a little bit more severe than just a tweak or a pull. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2 on Hajio. So be curious to see what his status is and what his time frame for return is, because he would be the regular center fielder. 1-2 on the way. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded softly over to third. Momori moving to his left, fields it. He throws to first, and Hachio's going to be gone. It's a ground out, 5-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and it's going to leave it all up to the pitcher in Yuji Akahoshi. One of the things that I will say is I sometimes think Bauer, when I watch his channel, he overthinks things. I'm not saying that he isn't a smart guy, not saying that he isn't somebody who can think through the process of pitching. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0 to Akahoshi. But where I'm heading with this is, from my perspective, is certain players will do certain things to you. You don't give them any credit until they actually do stuff against you. There's a fastball that misses up. Now 2 balls and no strikes to the Giants pitcher. Always believe in attacking the hitters with your best stuff and see what they can do first. There's another fastball that misses up, and it's 3-0, and he's in jeopardy of walking the Giants pitcher. So 3 balls and no strikes. Akahoshi just resting the bat on his shoulder. Now he looks like he's ready to hit, and he pitches a fastball, taken for a called strike. Count now 3-1. Fred Bradley in the house. He says, appreciate the broadcast. Well, we appreciate you for being here. We're glad you can make it in as the 3-1 is on the way. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and now the count runs full to Akahoshi. It's a beautiful day for baseball in Yokohama. Right-hander BayStar kicks and Bauer kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Akahoshi on strikes. Comes all the way back after falling behind 3-0. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board through 3 innings. Bauer's got 3 strikeouts. We're moving to the bottom of the third. Your score is Giants nothing, BayStars nothing. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Appreciate you guys for being here on the Last Wraps Baseball YouTube channel. Be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 3, and we have ourselves a 0-0 ball game as the BayStars are ready to come to bat. Trevor Bauer has retired the minimum. He has allowed 1 hit, and he has walked the batter, but a caught stealing and a double play was able to get him out of the first inning, and after that, he started to settle down, and he's got himself in a bit of a groove. It'll be the top of the order for the BayStars, Yomiuri, Ibina, and Watari to come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 3. I have to say, I do like the acquisition of Masaki Yomiuri. A little bit surprised that the Fukuoka Ball Club, I would say let him walk, but I don't know if he fell out of favor there. There's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul. It is going to reach the seats down the left field line. The count is 0-1 to Yomiuri. Suriel in the house says, listening from their porch in Rhode Island, having a couple beers and hoping the BayStars pull it out. Yeah, it is about 1:40 in the morning in Rhode Island. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 0-2 on Yomiuri. Our friend WJR7 says, Bauer gains significant velocity as the game goes on. That is also true. You see that sometimes with old school pitchers. That used to be their thing. Velocity would get better as the game would move on, as there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-2. It's almost like they ease their way in, and by the time they get into innings 6 and 7, they start emptying the tank. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The appeal over to the third base umpire. They say Yomiuri didn't go. Takuya Kaye, his former teammate, applied the tag. But not to be a strike. I got to get a look at the replay on that one. Boy, I don't know if that's not a swing. And I don't know what is. But the BayStars third baseman getting a little home cooking here on that one. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on it, is golfed into shallow left field. Coming in on it with plenty of room to make the catch is Nakayama, and he's going to make that catch for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the left fielder in Tatsuya Ibina. Well, for Ibina, tonight he is 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his first time up. Batting against Nakahoshi for the second time here. Right-hander against the right-hander as Ibina steps in. Pitch on the way is a fastball that misses up and away. Count is 1-0. Ibina actually has pulled up his average. He's hitting .254 on the season now. He started off the year just absolutely abysmal. As there was a fastball that just misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-0. He's got himself straightened out. Again, the right-hander ready to deliver again. As he kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. The count goes to 2-1. Just a reminder, we'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night, same time, same channel. It'll be the same two teams. It'll be Giants and the BayStars yet again. As that fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 3-1 on Ibina. I'll try to do a check. Usually they announce the starters for tomorrow night. I'd be curious to see if Anthony Kay will be going or maybe Andre Jackson for the Yokohama Ball Club. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Fielded neatly by Izaguchi. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Ibina on a ground out 6-3. 2 gone here, and that's going to bring up Watari. One thing I can say is it's not like Trevor Bauer's been getting a whole lot of offensive help when he pitches. It's like he's got to go out there and throw a shutout, or he's got to allow only 1 run for an opportunity to get a victory. Tomorrow it'll be Foster Griffin against Katsuki Azuma. So Azuma, I guess you would consider, or I would consider him probably the ace of the BayStars. Breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So that'll be a pretty good matchup. Foster Griffin. Saw Griffin pitch last year against the Yakult Swallows at the Jingu Stadium. As the 1-0 on the way, it's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-0. And I could see why he was a top pick. I believe he was a first-round pick of the Kansas City Royals a number of years ago, and ended up with the Toronto Blue Jays for a bit. Breaking ball swung on. This ball's hammered into right field. It's going to get through the 4-hole for a base hit. And Watari is aboard with a 2-out single, and that's going to bring Shugo Maki to the plate. I was just thinking a little bit more on that Foster Griffin, but when you watch him mechanically, he's very, very smooth. And you can see why probably professional teams would have been interested in his services. So I'm curious, maybe he gets a couple of years in Japan, and as this is year number 2, maybe he does a Miles Michaelis, that type of pitcher who is able to bounce back. I remember Bill Gullickson back in the day when he came back to the Detroit Tigers after spending some time with the Yomiuri Giants. Was very, very effective. There was a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Maki. Maki 1 for 1 today. He singled, but it was the base running that really caught my eye. The broken back single by Matsuo. He was able to get to second base, but he had a great read when the ball had trickled off the hand of the shortstop. As there's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 1-1 on Maki. And sometimes the base running is a very neglected part of the game. As a lot of teams don't. They did charge the shortstop with an error on that, by the way. That allowed the runners to advance that base, but no damage was done. There's a breaking ball missing down and away. Count is 2 balls and a strike. Error allowed Maki to advance to third, and it allowed Matsuo to advance to second in that second inning, but very fortunate, no damage done there if you were a fan of the Giants. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Maki. Our goal this year is to be able to get up to, as we mentioned, 150 games. We've crossed the 40-game plateau. As there's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to third. Oh, what a play by Okamoto as he falls to his knees, moving to his left, gets up, does a 360, and fires out Maki at first. That's a web gem right there, but it's a ground out 5-3 to end the inning. And that is going to do it here for the BayStars in their half of the third. So, ironically, a third of the game in the books. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left the board. We're now moving to the middle 3 frames. Your score is exactly where we started. Giants, nothing. BayStars, nothing. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the middle 3 frames. It is going to be the top of the order to come to bat for the Giants. It'll be Izaguchi, Cabbage, and Yoshikawa. You face the right-hander Trevor Bauer. Appreciate everybody who's come in to listen, whether you're just listening here for Bauer or you're listening because you like Japanese baseball. Either way, we're glad to have you. The first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Izaguchi led off the ball game with a base hit, but he was erased trying to steal second, as the right-hander Bauer gets his sign from the catcher Masuo. And he rocks himself into the windup. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 0-2. Only 38 pitches through 3 innings for Bauer, so that's a pretty good economical rate. Usually you look at about 15 pitches per inning. As the 0-2 is on the way, there's a heater that misses upstairs. That was at 95. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I wonder if he's going to come back. If he's changed the eye level, let's see if Bauer goes low. Here comes the pitch. And he does, and it is lined right to the second baseman, Shugomaki. And that is going to retire Izaguchi. So that's twice Izaguchi. He's been right on top of him tonight. He had that base hit to right field to begin the game. And that was a P-Rod hit right to the second baseman. And that is going to retire Izaguchi for the first out of inning number 4. It'll bring up the right fielder in Trey Cabbage. Well, for Cabbage, he officially does not have a plate or an at-bat tonight. He's got a plate appearance. He walked his first time up. First pitch fastball swung on and is grounded through the first baseman into right field. Diving to his right was Kaita Sano, but it ended up getting through him. They ruled it as a base hit. So Cabbage aboard for the second time tonight, as he's got himself a 1-out single, and that's going to bring up the second baseman in Naoki Yoshikawa. Yeah, it's base hit, but I got to say that Sano probably had to do a better job of knocking that ball down. I'm not sure if Sano, if that's his best position over there at first base. I know he can play in the outfield, but with the absence of Tyler Austin, he is holding down the 1 bag. As the pitch is a fastball that misses up. There goes the runner. The throw down to second. Is it in time? It is in time, and they're going to nail the runner as he tries to slide in head first. And I think he's a little bit ticked because they might have had a challenge on that one, but he ended up sliding off the bag. So Cabbage is going to be caught stealing. He's gunned down 2-6. So the Giants have been helping Bauer out here with their base running. We'll get a look at that again. Maybe Bauer's got to spend some time working on it. You know what? That's a good play there by the shortstop Ishikami. He kept the tag on Cabbage as he had slid off the bag. As a breaking ball swung on by Yoshikawa. The count's 1-1. That first pitch was a ball, but a great throwdown by the catcher Matsuo. But they must see something in Bauer that they think they can run on him. I haven't got my clock on to get his time to the plate. As there's a fastball ticket at the knees for a called strike. The count is 1-2. WJR says he's really focusing on trying to make sure he bounces the curveballs. Mike Clary says Rhode Island, stand up. Certainly not the biggest state, but big in heart, Rhode Island, as the 1-2 is on the way. There's a fastball that misses down. It squirts away. And that is going to run the count to 2-2. It's been a number of years since I've been in Rhode Island. I think I was in Rhode Island probably in 1984. I don't know if I was in there in 1994. It might have been 94 as well. Definitely 84 was it in Providence. There's a breaking ball that misses up. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Yoshikawa. I think Brown University is there, and there was a restaurant bar we were at called the Rusty Scupper. As the right-hander Bauer ready to go, getting his sign from Matsuo. He rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to Momori at third. Falls to his knee, fields it. He fires to first. And Yoshikawa is going to be retired. It's going to go as a ground out, 5-3 for the third out of the inning. So an unconventional 1-2-3 inning here for Trevor Bauer, as they did get a single off the bat of Cabbage, but he's retired trying to steal. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. He still faced the minimum through 4. Your score is right where we started. Giants nothing, BayStars nothing. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys hanging here. And Zuriel, if I've said it right, she says we love our baseball in Rhode Island. And they were born in 84. Well, we appreciate you guys for being here. 84 was a good time. Tigers were in the World Series, and they were playing the Padres. We'll be back in just a bit. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you guys for checking in on our channel here tonight as we are moving into the bottom of the 4th inning. Kaita Sano, Shion Matsuo, and Koki Kojiwara coming to bat here for the BayStars. And their inning here as the right-hander Akahoshi ready to deliver. And the first pitch is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Sano. Sano 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up. Batting from the left side here against the right-hander Akahoshi, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. The right-hander again works and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1 on Sano. Just about ready to unleash some of our slow-motion videos. Been taking a lot recently, even some of our minor league stuff. And some good videos on the top prospects. Arjun Namala of the Blue Jays. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field, drifting back and making an over-the-shoulder catch just in front of the warning track is Cabbage. Sano is going to be retired for the first out of the inning. He sent it for a ride. He just didn't send it deep enough as he has gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up the catcher in Shion Matsuo. Well, for Matsuo, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled a broken bat single into left field his first time up. He was able to advance on the error by the shortstop to second on the play. He takes a first pitch breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So the impressive streak continues for the right-hander Akahoshi as there's a fastball swung through and missed. Count is 0-2. He did deliver an intentional walk to Ishikami, but he hasn't walked anybody in 29 and a third innings now. But they did hold the four fingers up. They put the shortstop of the BayStars on base. Fastball swung on and chopped foul right at home plate. The count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to the catcher of the BayStars. Akahoshi gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up. That's his sign from Takuya Kai. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses well off the plate. The count is 1-2 to Matsuo. Beautiful day for baseball in Yokohama. The skies are clear blue. And they are high skies here. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just past the bag at third base. Count remains at 1-2. Had a lot of fun. We called a couple major league games this week. I'm going to call another Japanese game tomorrow night, and had a few games to the slate coming up during the week. As the 1-2 is on the way, fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, diving to his left and making the play. And throwing from his knees is the shortstop Izaguchi, but he's not going to be able to retire Matsuo as the throw was a bit offline. Just for him to get to the ball. It was a great play by the shortstop, but unable to get Matsuo. He's going to get himself a base hit there, his second of the game. That'll bring up the center fielder in Koki Kajiwara. Well, for Kajiwara, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. He had been hitting in the leadoff spot for quite a bit of the time in the month of April for the BayStars, but his numbers have dropped off significantly. The right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it, his tap foul right at home plate. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Kajiwara. Yokohama crowd is cheering on their hometown here as they got a runner at first and 1 gone here in the 4th. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. I wondered who we were going to get tonight, if it was going to be maybe Shoshi Togo, but Akahoshi, a pretty good, decent arm. Curious to see what's going to happen tomorrow. As we said, Foster Griffin is going to go for the Giants against Azuma of the BayStars. 1-1 on the way. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Beautiful day for baseball, as we said. One place I'd like to sit would be up in left field. I wanted to sit in that area there, be able to see the game in Yokohama. It's like a wing. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count goes to 2-2. When I saw the Cart play a couple years ago, it was down the third base line. Seats were all right. Got his chance to see Shota Imanaga pitch live for the BayStars. It was the preview before the Cubs had signed the lefty. Imanaga is outstanding to watch. If you get a chance to see him pitch, it is well worth it, as the 2-2 pitch is ready to go here. Kicks and delivers. Fastball, take it for a called third strike. Kajiwara didn't like the call, but painted the corner, did Akahoshi, and that is going to set him down for the second out of the inning. That's the second time tonight he's gone on strikes. And that is going to bring up the shortstop in Taiki Ishikami. And by our quick count, that would be the 3rd strikeout of the night recorded by Akahoshi. Both he and Trevor Bauer have struck out the same amount here. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on it, is lifted into right center field. Moving over to his left and now having to back up to make the catch is the center fielder Hajio And that is going to do it, as Ishikami is going to be gone for the third out of the inning. Well, no runs in the inning. They did have a hit by Matsuo. There was no errors, and one runner left aboard. We are now through 4 complete. Your score is the Giants nothing and the BayStars nothing. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. It is BayStars and Giants on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a couple moments right after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the order to come to bat for the Giants in the top of the 5th inning, as this game is skipping along pretty quick. It'll be Kaz Okamoto, Takuya Kai, and Riko Masuda come to bat here to face Trevor Bauer in the 5th inning. Bauer has been pretty economical here in this one. I would suspect if you're thinking about this game going deep into the ball game, this might be one of them here. He might be able to get his first complete game. The only thing is the BayStars got to find a way to get a run for him if he's going to get his first victory of the 2025 campaign. So he's completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one back underway as Okamoto will step in. Okamoto is 0 for 1 as he has grounded out to third. The right-hander Bauer rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It is going to be lifted foul down the left field line into the seats. And the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Bauer. Okamoto digs himself in, and he waits on the offering as the pitch is on the way. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Okamoto waggling his bat. Waiting here on the offering from the BayStar right-hander, who gets the sign from his catcher and ready to go back to work. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's 2-1. Bauer has really worked on his hesitation, his leg lift, his slide steps, his pauses in the delivery, all in which to try to throw off the timing of the hitters. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 3-1 on Okamoto. And this is a situation where I said before about where Bauer might be outthinking himself. Okamoto a couple years ago had a couple of home runs off him. As the pitch on the way, breaking ball swung on. This ball's lined in the left field. It's deep. It's going to get over the head of the left fielder, Ibina. It's going to get all the way to the wall. Rounding first and heading into second is Okamoto. He almost slid off the bag there as the tag from Mackey was applied. And that is going to be a double here for Okamoto to lead off the 5th inning. So this is the first time that the Giants have had a runner to second base. So Okamoto with a leadoff double. That's going to bring the catcher Takuya Kai to the plate. And, if I was in this situation right now with Kai coming up to bat, I got to be thinking sacrifice bunt. I know Kai's having himself a great year right now. And it looks like the BayStars want to have a look at this one here, as they think that Okamoto may have come off the base when he had slid into second. They're going to have a look at the replay here. Okamoto had slid into the bag. Mackey had applied the tag, and it looked like maybe he had popped off. We're going to get a look at it ourselves as the umpires have gone underneath the screen. Hit that ball on one hop off the wall. It was actually a pretty good play by Ibina to pick it up and to fire it in. He slid into the base safely, but he had come off the bag. Oh, you know what? I think this is going to be a single, and he is going to be thrown out at second base. I think that the BayStars are going to catch themselves a break. As he came off the bag, the tag was applied by Mackey before he was able to get his hand to the base. He's going to be gunned out here. We're going to wait for the umpires. I don't think this is going to be a long call. I think this is going to be a fairly quick one. Good heads-up play by Mackey to apply the tag to the backside of Okamoto. I think Okamoto is going to know this one. And if that's the case, it'll go as a single in the books. And the putout will go 7-4. We'll wait for the official ruling from the umpires when they come back in just a moment. So again, he had slid into the base safely just so that you guys get an idea, and then his right foot had come off the bag, and he reached down with his left hand to try to tag the bag. And in that particular time, that is where Shugo Maki had applied the tag to his backside. And I think he is going to be a dead duck here, but let's wait and see what the umpires have to say. I'm 1 for 1 tonight. And we're still waiting on the call. This is taking far too long. As I say, Trevor Bauer has been getting some excellent bounces tonight, and the luck has been on his side. But we still are waiting for the decision from the men in black. As we said, tomorrow night we'll be back on the airwaves again with these same two teams. Hopefully, if you guys got nothing else to do, come on in and listen again. Both of these groups are supposed to be in place here. Hang on for just a moment, everybody. I just got to take a spot. Just give me a moment. Sorry about that, everybody. Had to jump out of there for a half a moment. Okamoto was ruled out at second base. It's going to be put out as a 7-4 putout. He's going to get ruled with a single. The first pitch to Takuya Kai was fouled away for strike one. Didn't want to keep guys in suspense that much longer, but boy, oh boy, that was pretty interesting. Yeah, he did come off the base, so we're 2 for 2 on our calls tonight. As the right-hander Bauer kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1 on Kai. Only 56 pitches so far for Bauer. He's got a lot left in the tank, one would have to think, as he gets into the back half of this game, as the 1-1 pitch is on the way. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2 on Kai. Kai to be followed by Masuda here. Why do I have a feeling this is going to be a 1-0 game? That somebody is going to do something spectacular, maybe a walk-off or maybe a solo shot somewhere. Breaking ball misses down. The count goes to 2-2. Our friend WJR7, who was in here earlier, was talking about how Bauer was working on spiking his curveball. He was talking on his channel about it was him and Andre Jackson were working on, they were throwing their pens, and they were talking about how that ball was coming out of their fingers, trying to get a little bit more spin to it, a little bit more bite. There's a fastball that was swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. I really believe certain pitchers are made for certain pitches because of their arm slots, because of the way their arms work, even the way that their grip strength is on the ball. How that ball can come out of their hands, especially their fingers, as the 2-2 is on the way. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Kai. We'd said earlier that we're keeping an eye on the amount of full counts that Bauer would go to tonight in this one, and this is going to be the fifth batter. Check that, the sixth batter that Bauer's gone to full count on. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to second, fielded by Mackey. Throws to first, and that's going to retire Kai on a ground out, 4-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So ironically, for six batters to go to a full count on, he's been able to dispose of some of the hitters a little bit earlier than that. And I think of the six batters, so far he has faced in this one 14. So that means he is looking at about 42% of the batters going to full count. Yeah, here comes the first pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Masuda. Masuda 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball that just misses outside. The count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Bauer again is getting his sign from his catcher. One thing I will say is that Bauer had trimmed down from last season or the last couple of seasons. There's a fastball swung on. It's lined into left field for a base hit. Bina over to get it. He fires it back in, and Masuda is going to be aboard with a 2-out single. That's going to bring up the left fielder in, Raito Nakayama. I was saying Bauer probably in terms of shape, he's probably down a good solid 20, 25 pounds. Looks like he is in sleek shape, fighting shape, ready to go. As the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Nakayama. Nakayama struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He bats here with a runner at first and 2 gone. Right-hander Bauer working again from the stretch. We'll keep an eye on the runner here. They seem to like to run on the base star right-hander as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. Right-hander again working to the set. 1-1 pitch is on its way. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and now the count goes to 1-2 on Nakayama. Keep your eye on the runner. This might be a good time for Masuda to get himself in motion. As again, the right-hander Bauer works himself into the set position as he holds at the belt, and now he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to short. Easy play as they flip to second base. Nice job there by the shortstop, Ishikami. Gets it over to Mackey. It's a fielder's choice to erase Masuda 6-4. And he has gone for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here in inning number 5 for the Giants. Well, they got no runs in the inning. They did have 2 hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're halfway through this one. It is the BayStars nothing and the Giants nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Here is our friend Steve.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But Freddie's coming back. I gotta go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
That's right, everybody. That's our good friend Steve Rademacher. Check him out after the game. Let him know Last Raps Baseball sent you, and try to keep him out of jail when you can. We'll be right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the BayStars. That means Trevor Bauer, Masaki Momori, and Tetsuo Ubina. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Bauer. Looks like we may have a change in left field, as it looks like Nakayama's day is done. We'll have to get you that change in just a moment. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Now Bauer's in the hole at 0-2. Got quite a bit of body armor on that left side, has Bauer, as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken for a called third strike. And that is going to retire the American pitcher for the first out of the inning. Bring up the top of the order in Masaki Momori. And at least by our counts, that would be the fourth strikeout of the game, retired by Akahoshi. Momori coming to the bat. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to third, and he is flown out to left in his 2 trips. 61 pitches through the first 4 innings for Akahoshi. As the first pitch is a fastball swung on, it is grounded foul just past the bag at first base. The count is quickly 0-1 to Momori. It looks like it is Yuto Akihiro who is taken over in left field for the Giants here, as he will be inserted in the lineup. So Akihiro on in left. There's a fastball to Momori that misses upstairs, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field, and it's going to get down just foul. It's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1-2 on Momori. As Momori is going to trot back. Looked like it could have been for extra bases. If that ball would have stayed fair, as he'd hooked it down into the corner, he didn't miss it by much. Ball would have stayed fair with his speed. It's definitely a double, and it might have been a triple. So here comes the left-handed hitting Momori. As the right-hander Akahoshi kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, chopped over the head of the pitcher, fielded by the second baseman, who fires to first. Oh, a nice play there by the second baseman, Yoshikawa, but it's not going to be in time to get this speedy Momori, as he's able to get down the line pretty quick. It's going to be an infield single. Good baseball all the way around. Just a very difficult play to be able to get the BayStar third baseman. He can absolutely fly. Ball looked like it hit just in front of home plate as it was chopped over the head. I don't know if it would have been an easier play for the shortstop, because the shortstop was coming behind the bag, moving from his right to left. Instead, the second baseman cut it off, going the other way, unable to make the play. That is going to bring up the left fielder in Tetsuo Ubina. I would say keep your eye on Momori here, because he can run. He does have 5 stolen bases on the year. And instead, they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the BayStar base runner. He's taken the oven mitts to a whole new level. He doesn't just have them on one hand, he's got them on both hands. as he establishes his lead over at first. He's got 1 foot on the dirt and 1 foot on the turf. Again, the right-hander holds to the set. And again, he fires over, and again, diving back in time is Yomiuri. To me, this is the opportunity to run here because you got speed on the base paths. Actually, it doesn't even look like they're oven mitts. It looks like there's something you get in the wintertime that would be like mittens that if you were going skiing, you would probably give to your 8-year-old. As the pitch is on the way, there goes the runner. It is swung on and missed. The throw down to second gets by the shortstop and into shallow center field, but backing up on the play was Yoshikawa. That's going to be a stolen base for Yomiuri. He's going to get his 6th of the season. It was a token swing and miss by Abina. It kind of looked like he did it because he had to do it, not because he wanted to do it. So safe at second, Yomiuri. Takuya Kai will be a little disappointed himself. He's usually very sound defensively. Well, the outfield is in shallow. They're going to try to throw the run out at the plate. As Abina steps in here, he is 0 for 2 today. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, getting the lead off of second base is Yomiuri as the right-hander holds to the set. And now the pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball, waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Abina. Runner at second, Yomiuri, 1 gone here in the 5th inning. BayStars searching for that elusive first run of the game. Game has had a pretty good pace to it up until the last maybe 10 minutes or so. Seems like we've hit a bit of a rut here as the right-hander Akahoshi ready to go again as he works and gets his side from the catcher Takuya Kai. As he holds 7th out, he checks the runner at second. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to the right side. Good piece of hitting. That's going to advance the runner along. And that is a ground out 4-3 by Abina. It's going to bring up the right fielder Ryuki Watari. Yomiuri advances over to third. Now that's going to be multiple ways in which he can be brought home. So Watari coming to bat here. He is 1 for 2 in this one. So batting from the left side, 1 for 2 today for Watari. Our friend WGR says, come on, BayStars, just give 1 run. 1 run might be at the premium. Might be a pass ball or a wild pitch. Who knows? The first pitch on the way. It's a fastball that moves Watari off the plate. The count is quickly 1-0 to him. Takuya Kai had really moved inside. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander Akahoshi ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. It's 2-0. Certainly, I wouldn't want to face Shugo Maki in this situation. Watari's tough enough. He has started to heat up a little bit here, has the second-year player for the BayStars. But Shugo Maki, a polished, seasoned veteran, and it doesn't get any easier when you get Kaida Sano. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Watari. Watari had a really good start to his professional career last year. And he slowed himself down a little bit as it went on in the season. There's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count goes to 2-2. I think he would have wanted that one back. He knows that was too good a pitch. It was up in the zone. Something that he might have been able to drive, but Wasn't able to flatten out the barrelhead. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to the BayStar right fielder. So Akahoshi ready to go again. As he gets his sign, he checks the runners. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. It is going to be lined right to the glove of the third baseman, Okamoto. Couldn't hit it any harder. And that is going to do it. Watari is going to be gone for the third out of the inning. But they threaten, but they don't score. As there was no runs in the inning, there was 1 hit. There were no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We go into what we like to call our Japanese halftime. We're going to take a little time out. We're going to put a music on loop. We're going to refresh our drink. Although I have to say that the games in the Central League don't seem to have as long a break as what we witness in the Pacific League. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. The scoring summary for this one is pretty easy. It is no runs right across the board here for the Giants or the BayStars. Nothing is the score. Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. The Hanshin Tigers have a 3-0 lead over the Yakult Swallows at the Cochin Stadium. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom of the 6th inning, the Carp have a 2-0 lead over the Dragons. Over in the Pacific League, the Lions have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th at Escon Field over the Fighters. The Buffaloes have a 2-0 lead over the Eagles. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning. And your other game is the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks with a 2-0 lead over the Chibalote Marines. That is also in the bottom of the 5th. Trevor Bauer is back to the mound here. As the first pitch is delivered, it is a squibbler hit down the third baseline, fielded neatly by Masaki Momori, but he gets up and he fires it into left field. That is going to be an error as Masaya Hajio has gone all the way around to second base on the error by Momori, and that is how we are going to start the 6th inning. Welcome back. He dropped a bunt down the third base line. Yomiuri had to race in to get it. He fielded it with his bare hand and then fired it. The inside of first base, it got by Kaita-Sano. So that is going to be an error charged to the third baseman, and it's going to bring Hajio all the way to second. Bring up the pitcher, Yuji Akahoshi, to the plate. And for Akahoshi, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He's already squaring the bunt. Good decision here by the Giants. And the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on. It is bunted back toward the pitcher, fielded by the first baseman, Sano, who throws it to the second baseman covering. That's going to go as a sacrifice. It's going to go in the books. 3-4 on the putout. Akahoshi is going to be gone for the first out. Advancing over to the third is Hajio. That'll bring up the top of the order in Yuta Izuguchi. Actually, I have to tell you, they didn't advance the runner. The runner is actually held at second base. The manager, Abe, was losing his mind. The bunt was down. So that's just going to go as a regular ground out. Ouch. Didn't see that the runner didn't advance. They were able to make the most of that. So we have to erase that from our scorebook. I didn't see that. We just assumed that they got over there. I don't know what the runner, Hajio, was doing. What a wasted opportunity of a bunt. So I'll just go as a ground out, 3-4. No sacrifice on that one. First pitch to Izuguchi, swung on and fouled away. Counts 0-1. WJ Har says free out. Yeah, it was. Free out and not advancing the runner to third. What kind of base running is that? So here comes the offering from Bauer. It's no balls and 1 strike. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes even at 1-1. Definitely not heads up base running, says Brian Burns. Yeah, our camera angle, we just figured out. Well, it was it was bunted back to the pitcher, and the first baseman, Sano, fielded it. Actually, Bauer and him almost collided. I'm not sure why Bauer just wouldn't have been able to field the ball anyway. You get to him, that fastball misses up, and the count is 2-1. I know one thing is they always say the worst fielder in the infield at a professional level is your pitcher. Infielders are paid to play defense. A pitcher's paid to pitch. But I would have thought that maybe Bauer would have had an opportunity to have fielded that one and make that decision. It was right back to in his direction. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 3-1. Brian says we'll find out this week when he drops his vlog. Yeah, watched his vlog, obviously saw a little bit today. It was actually, I have to say, it was pretty well done. I have to tip my hat to Bauer on that, breaking it down. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is here to the shortstop of the Giants, and he swings and misses at a split finger pitch, and the count now goes to 3-2. It's got a very entertaining piece. So the crowd is on their feet. As the right-hander checks that runner at second base. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and lined foul just down the left field line. Count remains at 3-2 to Izuguchi. Izuguchi has hit Bauer hard tonight. Had a single to begin the ball game in the first inning, and then he hit that P-rod to the second baseman Mackey in the fourth. So whatever he is doing, he's really seeing the pitch out of Bauer's hand really well. Emilio Vargas says, let's go BayStars. Welcome, Emilio. Thanks for popping in. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. As the right-hander holds to the set, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled all the way to the backstop, and the count remains at 3-2. WJR said, yeah, maybe not this week. Maybe in a couple of weeks he'll drop that blog. That is correct. Yeah, I think he did a couple of games in that one today. I think he did the Tigers, and I think he did the Dragons? He did the breakdown. I didn't watch them closely. That was a pretty good production nonetheless. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And now time has been called as the catcher and Bauer were cycling through the signs. A little too long there for Izaguchi. So the right-hander ready to work himself to the set position. Checks the runner over at second, and here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on it, is lifted into left field. Going over towards the foul line and backing up is Ibina. He's going to make the catch. Holding at second is going to be the runner Higio. So we already saw Higio's adventuresome base running. So 2 gone here in the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the right fielder and Trey Cabbage. Cabbage to be followed by Yoshikawa. I wonder if they would consider putting Cabbage on to set up a force. Cabbage has walked and singled today. He was also thrown out trying to steal a base. I don't know if I would probably put him on. I'd probably take my chances with him. The base runner is 180 feet from home plate. So Cabbage stepping in here, ready to face Bauer for the 3rd time in this one. Lots of confidence here for the American left-handed hitting outfielder of the Giants. He's having him off to a good start here in the 2025 campaign. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses in, but the home plate umpire goes up with the right hand, figures he went around on that one. I don't know, but I think Bauer will take that home call. No balls and 1 strike. Brian says, yeah, 2 to 3 week lead time. Yeah, by the time they put it together in their production, it's probably fair. I have to say, they do a pretty good job, or he does a pretty good job in his production. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball that just misses down. That pitch actually looked better than the one that they called as a strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. That was the 80th pitch thrown by Bauer here in this one. One thing I will give the props for is when we saw the game against the Dragons, was it about 10 days ago or 12 days ago, Bauer went for 129 pitches. Gotta love it. Here's the 1-1. Fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 1-2. Nothing like old school baseball. Give me the ball. I'm your best guy or one of your best guys. I want to try to go 9. Give the bullpen a day off. Major League Baseball, it's 5 and a fly or 6 innings, 85 pitches, and they're running to the bullpen. Looking for guys who throw 100. It was kind of funny. I saw a stat earlier today, and I'll get back to that in a moment here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch from Bauer. As he kicks and delivers, and it's a breaking ball. Swung on and missed. And Bauer has retired Cabbage on strikes. That was an important strikeout here as he is able to get the side. He is an error by the third baseman, Yomiuri. It got them in a little bit of trouble, but Bauer able to get out of it as he strikes out Cabbage to end the side. No runs in the inning, no hits. There was an error, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning, it is the Giants nothing and the BayStars nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us. The Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel will be right back in just a few. Shugomaki Kaita-Sano and Cheyenne Matsuo to come to bat here to face the right-hander. Akahoshi will come back out for his sixth inning of work. 77 pitches through 5 innings for the Giants right-hander. As the first pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball. Swung on it, is popped up over on the left side of the infield. Moving in underneath it is Okamoto. He's called everybody off, and that is going to retire Mackey. So we're the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away with 1 pitch. It's going to bring up the first baseman, Kaita-Sano. Tipio says, I didn't realize you were reading the chat. Are you affiliated or just a fan? Not affiliated. Kind of a fan, I guess. Says he wants to get into commentary and always thought about foreign leagues would be cool to work. As the pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Kaita-Sano. Our friend Randy's in the house tonight. Welcome, Randy. Appreciate you for popping in. Sano's flown to left and flown to right in his 2 trips as the right-hander delivers. It's a fastball that just misses low, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. BayStars searching for a run, as are the Giants in this one. There's a fastball swung on. Nice play by the shortstop behind second base as he slides, moving to his left. He gets up and fires out Sano. Oh, what a nice play there by Izaguchi, putting on a fielding clinic. That's going to retire Sano on a ground out 6-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher in Cheyenne Matsuo. Brian says, a fan of baseball, not so much a individual team. Yeah, well, for me, I grew up obviously watching the Detroit Tigers. That would be my area, as the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Matsuo's raised his average up to 240 with the 2 hits he's had here tonight. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. Randy said his boy Pete Crow Armstrong had a couple of home runs tonight. I didn't see any of the highlights. I just caught the on my way home tonight as the fastball misses up and away. I caught the Tigers jumping on the Angels for 8 runs in the 9th. 2 Riley Green home runs, but I really didn't look around the scores of Major League Baseball. We'll do that after the game here. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up in the left. Moving over underneath it is Akihiro, and he's going to make the catch, as Matsuo is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning, and the BayStars go quietly here in their half of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're now through 2/3 of this one, and we're still where we started. It's the Giants, nothing, and the BayStars, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Our friend who had popped in there earlier, Tipio. One thing I say is that when you come to this channel, we're amateurs trying to do things professionally. There's nothing worse than going to a professional channel and watching it like it's done by a bunch of amateurs. We'll be back in just a few. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this one with us. We'll be back in a bit after this. From our friend Steve Rademacher, who is going to keep you guys entertained with all his shenanigans. We'll be right back.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OP-Chi baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Naoki Yoshikawa, Kaz Okamoto, and Takuya Kai to come to bat here to face Trevor Bauer in the 7th inning. They panned the crowd. I had one of those last year. It was shaved ice with mandarin oranges on top. It was absolutely awesome. As they have somebody there doing that. The first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Yoshikawa. Yoshikawa 0 for 2 as he's grounded into a double play and grounded to third in his 2 trips to the plate. Bauer delivers. There's a fastball that misses up and in, and backs Yoshikawa off the dish. The count goes to 1-1. 82 pitches for the American right-hander through 6 innings. Curious to see what happens in the next. I would assume if I get a couple of runners on, they might end up hitting for Bauer as he is slated to come up to bat third. As that fastball misses up and away. Although if nobody gets on, I can see him being continued to be used here in this one. He's got a lot of bullets in the gun left, one would have to think. Randy says, did you purposely do tonight's game because Bauer is on? To be honest with you, he was supposed to pitch last night. As there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and I was a little bit choked a bit because I couldn't have done last night's game. But we got fortunate as the rain gods were in effect in Yokohama, and the game was rained out, so it pushed Bauer's start to tonight, so I was pretty jacked about that. I enjoy it. Every time I get a chance to see him pitch, he is actually fun to watch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded by Sano. He's going to flip it to Bauer covering, and that is going to be a ground out 3-1, as that is going to retire Yoshikawa. So 1 in the books, and that is going to bring up the third baseman in Kaz Okamoto. So the plan so much, Randy, wasn't necessarily to do the game because of Bauer. They don't usually tell you who's pitching until 24 hours out. Sometimes when I do the Japanese league, I look at the timing depending upon what I'm doing the next day. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. I don't have to be up until 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. And when that's the case, then I can do the 10 o'clocks, no issues. Whoa, there's a fastball that comes up and buzzes the light tower of the right-handed hitting Okamoto. 1 ball and 1 strike. Get off the plate, says Bauer. That'll clear your sinuses. That ball was up and in. So here comes the 1-1. There's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count goes to 2-1. One thing that you notice when you see Okamoto in real life, he's really, really solid from the waist down. 2-1 pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball that's dropping in for a called strike. The count's 2-2. Jara says, it seems like Bauer's going every 5th day. That's what he wanted. When he signed there, he wanted to go every 5th day. As the 2-2 is on the way, there's a breaking ball that misses up and in. It's now 3-2 to Okamoto. And I say that because that's what he was requesting. He wanted to try to go, and they were going to try to work around it, even to a point where early on when the season, when he had a tour of the farm team, as there's a fastball that misses outside, it's going to be ball 4. Okamoto is going to get himself a 1-out walk. That's going to bring Takuya Kai to the plate. Randy says he works at a hotel, always quiet here at work. That's great. Yeah, it's awesome when you can pop in. We've had a few people who've worked in the hotels over the years that are in those type of industries and those jobs. One of our friends of the channel doesn't get in as much as he'd like to is Alexander Leggett. He's been in some of our daytime streams. He's out in Washington, D.C. He listens to our channel and pops in quite a bit when he's off of work. There's a fastball that misses up and in. Popped in a couple of times this year. We're glad always to have him listening. But the night owls, the people who are working late night, if they come in and join us, we're always happy for that. Keep you entertained. Here comes the 1-0 pitch as the right-hander holds set. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. Oh, Kai didn't like that. as he does a 180 and walks out of the batter's box, and the count now goes to 1-1. Yeah, as I said, I think he went down on that 10-day or that injured list, or when they de-rostered him, it's basically you're off the roster for 10 days. Able to go work a couple of kinks out as he throws over to first base, and sliding back on his knees was Okamoto. I wonder if Okamoto was surprised that Bauer threw over. Not exactly the biggest threat to run. He does have a stolen base this year, but one would think that Okamoto is not going to be running anytime soon. Here's the 1-1. Pitch to Kai. Breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. Count is 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, so sometimes when we call the games, as I say, we do look for the better pitching matchups. That's usually one of the things that I prefer to do. There's nothing like a Tuesday game when you got 2 tin cans on the mound. The score ends up 16-15 or something like that. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. And then there's sometimes we call those games anyway because got nothing else to do. Up late night, might as well sit back and enjoy it with us. As the right-hander Bauer ready to go again, he checks the sign and ready to deliver here to Takuya Kai. 2-2 on the way. Fastball misses up. It's now 3-2. Randy Jarrow says he watched his first Australian League game this winter. Always have Japanese minor league players, and the tallest Japanese player ever. The players leave around Christmas. Yeah, because they start the spring training in the January in the Japanese league. They get going in that first week. Longest spring training ever in Asia. As the 3-2 pitch ready to come from Bauer here as he kicks and fires. Fastball taken for a called strike. There goes the runner down to second. And that is going to be Okamoto. It's going to be a strike him out, throw him out. Kai down on strikes for the second out. Okamoto caught stealing. He's in the books 2-6, and another unconventional 1-2-3 inning here for the BayStars as Bauer gets some high fives coming out of the dugout. No runs in the inning. There was no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're still stuck at zeros. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We'll talk a little bit more about more of those Australian players or the Japanese players playing in the Australian League. We'll be back in just a couple minutes after this. Appreciate you for being here. It's time to stand up, stretch out, sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom third of the batting order slated to come to bat for the BayStars in their half of the 7th. It'll be Kajiwara, Ishikami, and Bauer. Our friend WJR says maybe they'll keep Bauer in for the 8th or maybe even the 9th if the 8th is real easy. I think I think if Bauer is to come to bat, if the first two runners reach base, we might see the end of Bauer. That's my guess. First pitch on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down and in. The count is a 1-0. Or unless he comes in, or they keep him in the bunt in that situation. But have to wait and see as Kajiwara ahead in the count 1-0. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count goes even at 1-1. Great pitchers duel here tonight between Trevor Bauer and Yuichi Akahoshi. Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the right side. Fielded in shallow right field by the second baseman Yoshikawa. Throws to first, and Kajiwara is retired on a ground out 4-3. It's gone out for the first out of the inning. Randy said Australia's biggest team, the Melbourne Aces, folded this past month. Not good for the sports future there. Very interesting. I knew a few players who were down there. A couple of people who had played for me, a couple of guys that I knew from my area, and a couple of guys who were out of the game, as the first pitch is a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Ishikami. Bauer has moved on deck. They did have a pinch hitter up there taking some cuts, but with the first batter retired, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count's 1-1. I wonder when the last time Trevor Bauer has hit a professional home run, or if he has at all. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2. Tipio says, night owl that just got home and going to bed now. Like the commentary during his late night commute. Appreciate you for popping in there, Tipio. St. Louis Cardinal fan. And sub to the channel. Appreciate you for doing that. Well, we look forward to seeing you in the future. As that breaking ball misses outside, the count is 2-2. Some nights were pretty good. Some nights were kind of average, and some nights were so-so. I'd say that our broadcasting game's getting better. As that breaking ball misses outside, the count is 3-2. Other thing is, too, is that what I like to do sometimes is I try to tell it like it is. If I think that there's a terrible play, I'll let you know. Breaking ball misses outside. That's going to be ball 4 as Ishikami is aboard with a walk. It's going to bring Bauer to the plate. That's the one thing that a lot of the broadcasters today, or at least the teams, it's almost like a cancel culture that exists. They don't want to say anything negative about their home team. I don't mind guys telling it like it is. I remember when Al Kaline and George Kell used to do the games for the Tigers. Al Kaline, if he didn't like something or he saw something where there was dog in a player, he used to really just rip guys. You don't need to rip guys all the time, but sometimes you got to make a statement. So Bauer steps up here with the runner at first and one gone, and he squares to bunt, and he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike. Count is 0-1. WJR says 5 big league hits, and Brian Burns says he's never hit a pro home run. Last home run he hit was in college at UCLA. No balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works himself to the set. There's the pitch. Let's take it for a called strike. Boy, but that pitch there, he didn't come set for very long. That was borderline of a balk, especially in the Japanese league. That's one rule that the Japanese league has. It's different than Major League Baseball, and that would be is that the pitchers are supposed to come set for a minimum of 3 seconds. Randy says Al Kaline hit 2 home runs in his Stratomatic League today. Good old Al Kaline. No balls and 2 strikes here to Bauer. He's already squaring to bunt again. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball. He gets it down. It's a good bunt. Picking it up is the pitcher Akahoshi. Fires to first. So Bauer with a sacrifice. It's going to go in the books 1-4 for the second out of the inning. Ishikami advances over to second, and that's going to bring the leadoff hitter in Masaki Momori to the plate. Well, let's see if Momori can make amends. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a stolen base, but he had an error his last time up, and forget that. They're just going to put the 4 fingers up and walk Momori. So that'll set up a force as it's going to bring Tetsuo Obina to the plate. BayStars 0 for 3 tonight as the Giants pitching coach is on his way out to the mound here. Going to have a conference with the right-hander. All the defense is in as they got runners at first and second with 2 gone. My thoughts here would be with the runners at first and second, all the umpires have now converged on the mound. They're breaking up the conference here. Takahoshi's going to stay in the ball game. I wonder if Tetsuya Obina, I don't know what else they've got coming off the bench to pinch hit tonight. I didn't look at the full roster for the lineup, but I don't know if I've seen Obina get more than 1 hit this year in any of the BayStar games that we've called. Obina is 0 for 3 tonight. He's grounded to short, grounded to second, and flown out to center. So he's kind of been a bit of a rally killer when we've witnessed him this year. They got Okamoto hugging the line at third. And the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, and that's why he's hugging the line. Okamoto fields it. He goes to second to get the speedy Momori. That's going to be a fielder's choice. It is 5-4 in the books to retire Momori for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it for the BayStars here in the 7th. They had no runs in the inning. There were no hits, no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 8th. We're still where we started, 0-0. Giants and BayStars. We'll be back in just a little bit. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the top of the 8th inning. It'll be Masuda, Akihiro, and Hajio to come to bat here as Trevor Bauer will begin his 8th inning of work, as the right-hander is sitting at 99 pitches through 7. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away to Masuda, and the count is 1-0. For Masuda today, he is 1 for 2. He struck out and singled in his 2 trips. As he bats from the right side against the right-hander, who kicks and delivers a breaking ball that swung on and popped foul behind home plate. The count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Bauer, you said doing work with his defense, says WJR7. Yeah, he is. As that breaking ball is taken for a called strike, the count goes to 1-2. Bauer has been pretty good all told. He could probably spend a little bit more time in the batting cage working on his bunts, although he did drop that pretty good bunt in that last half inning. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball swung on way out in front over to the shortstop, Ishikami, who throws to first, and Masuda's gone on a ground out 6-3. So 1 gone here. That's going to bring up the left fielder in Yuto Akihiro. Another piece of the chess pieces, it'd be interesting to see if somebody got on here in the next 2 batters, if they would bring the pitcher up to bat. Takahoshi, he is still in this ball game here. And certainly, if they retire the side 1, 2, 3, one would think he would probably get the 8th, but probably not the 9th. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball, drops in for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. WJR said ugly swing. Yeah, he was way out in front. That's when you stick your butt out and you have to put it in. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on it is lifted into straightaway center field. Over underneath it is the center fielder Kajiwara, and he's going to make the catch. He's going to retire Akihiro for the second out of the inning. Our friend Randy was pointing about the biggest Australian or Japanese player to play in Australia. For Akihiro, he stands at 6'7". I saw him a couple of years ago for the Giants. He's a big, big man. How many Japanese players can you think of that are over 6'3", not named Otane? And he was all of 6'7". There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Hajio. Gio officially 0 for 2 today. He did reach base on the bunt that he had down the third base line on the error by Momori. As Bauer delivers a breaking ball that's waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander delivers, there's a breaking ball that bounces up to the plate. 1-2. Brian says there's only about 3 other Japanese players he can think of who are that big. Yeah, there's not too many. I shouldn't say that. Maybe positional players. Some of the pitchers, you get the odd guys that are of decent size. But positional players, that's a rare find. 1-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. 1-2 to Hajio. Bauer in his sweet spot here at 109 pitches. One would have to think with Watari, Maki, and Sano to come up to bat in the 8th, I would expect to see him for the 9th. After that, all bets are off. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Bauer gets his sign and he's ready to go back to work. He kicks and he delivers. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and that's going to put Hajio in the books. A strikeout here for out number 3. Not many strikeouts in the books tonight here for Trevor Bauer. If I look at our count, I think that's number 6, if I've got it right, as he is able to get the Giants here in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. The score is the Giants nothing and the BayStars nothing. Stick around. Bottom of the 8th inning, just around the corner. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters slated to come to bat here for the BayStars in their half of the inning. It is going to be a pitching change, it looks like, though, as they're going to go to a left-hander. It's going to be a Yuhei Takanashi. So that will explain that. So Takanashi is going to be in. And the day for Akahoshi is over. And we'll have to see where that will fit with Trevor Bauer in the next half inning. I would assume that if in this particular case, if they were able to get a run, then maybe Bauer stays in and tries to close it and get a complete game victory for himself. Coming to bat here for the BayStars, it'll be Watari, Maki, and Sano to face the sidewinding left-hander. As Takanashi is just completing his tune-up tosses. Our friend WJR said quick inning and just had his at bat, so we'll see if he comes back for the 9th. Yeah, they have a pretty decent closer, do the BayStars, or at least who we've seen. I think it's Issei who's been coming out of the pen for them. So we'll see how that shapes up. BayStars crowd is on their feet as they are ready to cheer on their home side here. For Watari tonight, he is 1 for 3. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Watari grounded out to second. He's lined to third, and he is singled in his 3 trips. As the left-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up over on the right side of the infield. It's playable. It's going to be brought back. Oh, what a play there by the first baseman, Masuda. Masuda was right on the foul line, and then the wind ended up taking it back in the direction of second base. He was able to make the catch as he had fallen to his knees. Wind is a little bit treacherous in Yokohama, as that is going to retire Watari for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the second baseman in Shugo Maki. Our friend Mike Larry in the house tonight. Mike says, what inning is it? Mike, the ticker is running across the bottom of your screen, and it'll tell you what inning and what the score is. As the first pitch is coming from the lefty, it is a breaking ball taken for called strike. The count is 0-1. Randy says, has there been any American managers in since Bobby Valentine? Well, Alex Ramirez was managing the BayStars for a while, but I don't believe he was American. He might have been Puerto Rican or Dominican or Venezuelan. I can't remember where Ramirez was born. Breaking ball misses down. 1 ball and 1 strike to Maki. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any other American managers. Most recently, as I say, just the other import manager would have been Ramirez off the top of my head. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses down, counts 2-1. If I remember correctly, I thought the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles had an American manager in their early existence, because they've been around for about 21 years, I think. But in their early days, they had an American manager, if I'm not mistaken. Here comes the 2-1. As there's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 3-1. Brian says, yeah, Marty Brown. Yeah, I know. And they also might have had an American general manager over there as well. But I can't remember that exactly myself. They were kind of cutting edge for that. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball missing inside. It's going to be ball 4. And Shugo Maki is going to get himself a 1-out walk. He's going to bring up the first baseman in Kaida Sano. So that brings Sano to the plate. He is 0 for 3 in this one tonight. He's flown to left, flown to right, and he's grounded to short. As Maki aboard here, we'll keep an eye on Maki. He doesn't necessarily run particularly well. He's only got us 1 stolen base on the year. Sano, who comes to the plate looking for his first hit. 20 for 89 on the season. He's only hitting 2 1/4. He had himself a pretty good Japan series last year. As the lefty Takanashi kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Sano. Great crowd in Yokohama for this one. I'd like to tell you that the flags are blowing in, but they're just blowing all over the place. The wind has picked up as the game has gone on. As the 0-1 are ready to come here. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1 on Sano. You ever get a chance to get to Yokohama, the BayStars Stadium? It's a pretty cool place. When I got there a couple of years ago, I was sitting in the Starbucks outside of the stadium across the street, as if when you go out where the center field side is, just watching the people come and go and flow from the park. As they throw over to first base and Mackey gets back safely. It's kind of a cool place. There's a little surrounding park outside. I think it was kind of a neat venue to see a game. I'm not sure what else is in that area. It's almost like they got government buildings down the street. There's the pitch. 1-1. It's a fastball taken for a called strike. I took shelter as a thunderstorm had rolled through. Seems to be the case in Yokohama. They do get their fair share of thunderstorms. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sano. Runner at first, Mackey. 1 gone here in the 8th inning. As the lefty Takanashi ready to go back to work. He gets his sign from Takuya Kai and he kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Mackey digging hard around second, and he's going to cruise into third safely. And now the BayStars have got something going as they've got runners on the corners with 1 gone. And it's going to bring the catcher, Cheyenne Matsuo, to the plate. That's going to be the end of the night for Sano as he gets a high 5 as he's going to leave the game. We'll have a runner for him. But if there's a situation here to keep an eye on, let's see if the BayStars might consider a suicide or a safety squeeze here in this situation. If you're looking for a bunt, this might be the spot here. But that looks like it's going to be the end of the night here for the reliever, Takanashi. The manager, Abe, is on his way to the mound. He's going to take the ball from the lefty, and we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We really appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us. We do have a change. Your score right now, it is 0-0. It's a turning point potentially in the ball game. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change. It's going to be Hiromasa Funabasama, who is in the ball game. The pinch runner over at first base for Kaito Sano is number 00, Takuma Hayashi. So Hayashi is on to pinch run, as it is going to be Cheyenne Matsuo here at the plate. So let's keep our eyes on all the crazy things that could happen here. Depending on the pinch runner here, maybe we've got ourselves a potential for a stolen base. The first and third situation is in play. 0.93 ERA being posted so far by the lefty Funabasama. But I think we are going to keep our eyes peeled for a squeeze play here. That would be my projection. Outfield is in shallow. The middle is in double play depth, and they are in at the corners here, as that is how it looks like the setup is going to play out here. And I still think that you got to keep your eyes open for the safety squeeze or suicide squeeze. Our friend Skull Kid 1882 in says if he ever gets a chance, he wants to go to the Fighters Stadium in Hokkaido. Yeah, what a beautiful investment that was. The one thing, though, I hear, and I haven't been to that stadium yet, I haven't been up into the Sendai region or into the Hokkaido region, is it's not the easiest place to get to. It's quite a haul from the train station to the stadium. You got a bit of a walk. But I have to say, when I was in Chiba, you have to go to get the train, it's not exactly a light walk either, especially when it pours rain after a game and you got to hurdle over ditches of water. So here comes the first offering, and the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away. No sign of a bunt there to Matsuo. Runners at the corners, one gone here, bottom of the 8th inning. BayStars threatening as they find themselves in a deadlock here with the Giants. As the right-hander Fumabasana ready to deliver. As he has checked the sign, here comes the pitch. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. Koki Kajiwara waiting his turn on deck. BayStars looking to claw a run apart. The other thing, too, is right now you're getting into a situation where Bauer's been sitting for quite a bit of time. I haven't seen him up and throwing in front of the dugout yet. That is something that they do in the Japanese league, is the pitchers will get up and throw in front of the dugout. I haven't seen Bauer doing any of the likes yet. They throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner. So Hayashi is that runner at first base. He is pinch running for Sano. So right-hander against the right-hander. Fumabasama ready to deliver. He works himself to the set position. And the pitch is on the way. Well, there's a fastball swung on it. It's belted into deep left field. That's going to be deep enough to get the run in. Backing up is Akihiro, tagging at third. And coming home to score the first run of the ballgame is Shugomaki. So I got to tip my hat to the catcher, Matsuo. He's got a couple of hits tonight. And now the sacrifice fly to drive in the first run of the game. And the BayStars have taken a 1-0 lead here in the 8th inning. And that is going to bring up the center fielder in Koki Kajiwara. It's going to bring the manager, Abe, out of the dugout for the Giants. And it looks like he is sprinting out, ready to make a pitching change. I think we may have another one coming here. Slated to come to bat is Kajiwara. The BayStar fans are in a frenzy. And we're going to take a little time out here. We'll come back in just a moment. We'll get you caught up. I believe Bauer has 6 strikeouts tonight. It's not a big night of Ks for him. I'll double check that for you while we're at break. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are getting ourselves a pitching change as the Giants are going to their bullpen. The question that was asked by our friend Mike Larry, he says, how many strikeouts does Trevor Bauer have tonight? And by our scorecard, it looks like he does have 6. The Yomiuri Giants are going to the bullpen as they are calling on yet another left-hander. It's going to be number 62, Kai Yokogawa, as he is going to come on in relief here. So Yokogawa on in relief of Funabasama as his night is over. And so he's just completing his tune-up tosses. We are ready to resume the action here as Koki Kajiwara is the hitter with Hayashi on at first base. So the 1 run in the ball game separated on the sacrifice fly by Cheyenne Matsuo. As that is where we stand here. The 4th pitcher used. Right now, it would be Takanashi in line for the loss. I'll be curious to see if Bauer is going to close this one out or if they're going to go to the bullpen for the 9th. So Kanjiwara coming to the plate. He is 0 for 3 in this one. He has struck out twice and grounded to second. But it looks like we may have a pinch hitter for him. It is going to be number 95. And who is 95? It is going to be Ryuhei Kuki. So Ryuhei Kuki coming in. This is the first time I think I've ever seen him. Kuki is in the pinch hit. He is listed as a catcher. And he is ready to face the left-hander here in his first at bat. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Like Larry says, is this behind? Because Google says it's the 8th inning. Last time I looked, we were in the 8th inning there, Larry. Mike. As the left-hander ready to deliver. And instead, he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner, Hayashi. Leo Vargas says, who's the closer? It'd be Issei, who's been closing some games out for the BayStars. But it might be Trevor Bauer, the way that he has pitched tonight. Maybe they will roll him back out for the 9th. Not only do you get the start, you get to close it as well. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded over to third. Okamoto fields it, fires to first, and that's going to do it. Kuki is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. It's a ground out 5-3 for the 3rd out, and that will do it here. There was 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 9th inning. Your score is the Yomiuri Giants are trailing the BayStars 1-0. I'm not sure if Bauer is coming out, but it looks like he is. He's going to try to close this game out for himself. We'll be back in a minute right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back in just a few. That is the pitcher's spot in the batting order, so we'll probably be getting a pinch hitter there more than likely. And that'll be the top of the order in Izuguchi and Trey Cabbage to face Trevor Bauer here in the 9th inning. He has gone the distance so far. He has 6 strikeouts in his 8 innings of work. And he has faced, at this point, just 2 batters over the minimum. We do have some changes in the outfield at third base and at first base. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to get those as we catch up a little bit later for the BayStars. So that is going to be bringing a pinch hitter to the plate. We're waiting to see who it is for the Giants here. As the first pitch from Bauer on the way is a breaking ball waved out and missed. 110 pitches. This is number 24. And that would be Takumi Oshiro, one of the catchers. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count goes even to 1-1. So Takumi Oshiro off the bench. You have a glutton of catchers to the Giants. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. So the right-hander Bauer rocks and delivers. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is 2-2. Again, as the right-hander Bauer ready to deliver again. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that's taken for a called third strike. Oh, Oshiro stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he watched that one go by. So there you go, everybody. There's his 7th strikeout of the ball game. As that will retire Oshiro for the first out of the inning, and now they've got the top of the order in Izaguchi coming to bat. Well, for Izaguchi tonight, he has hit Bauer hard. He had a single to lead off the ball game. He lined out to the second baseman, and he flew out to left. And the first pitch on the way here is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded to the left side, fielded on the backhand by the shortstop, who fires across the diamond. Ishikami is not able to get it there in time, and reaching safely is Izaguchi, as he's got himself a single. Appreciate everybody in here. Trevor Bauer just won Joshua $150. Congratulations. We're glad that you were able to pick up a few nickels on the game. So Izaguchi, now the runner at first. That's going to bring Trey Cabbage to the plate. Well, for Cabbage tonight, he is officially 1 for 2. He's reached base twice. He's singled, he's struck out, and he's walked. As the right-handed Bauer flips it over to first, and diving back in time is Izaguchi. Izaguchi doesn't have any stolen bases. He does move pretty well, though. But not really a base stealer, as Cabbage waiting here on the offering from Bauer. And the first pitch on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. It's a good night for baseball. If you guys are back around tomorrow, it won't be Trevor Bauer, but it'll be the same 2 teams tomorrow night. So hopefully you guys can pop in again, watch the BayStars and the Giants, or listen along with us, as there's a breaking ball that's swung on and tapped foul, and the count now 1-1 on Cabbage. Wonder what's going through Bauer's mind right now in this spot. Thinking about how he's going to try to attack Cabbage in this situation. So 1 ball, 1 strike as the right-hander holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into deep center field. Just not deep enough, as camping out underneath it and making the catch is the center fielder for the BayStars, and that is going to retire Cabbage for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that's going to leave it all up to Naoki Yoshikawa. We're talking about earlier before, as the BayStars is Kazumoto, who has moved into center. Hayashi, who pinch ran for Sano, is at third, and the first baseman is now Mamori. Those were your changes around the infield. So now the Giants are down to their final out, as it is Yoshikawa striding to the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out 3 times, including a double play back in the first inning. As Bauer works to the set, he's at 119 pitches. And here's the pitch. Breaking ball, take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. This is turning into a statement game for Bauer, I would think. If he can close this one out and win 1-0, it'd be a big-time flex for the American right-hander. As the right-hander here kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is pop foul down the left field line. Randy says he's had a lot of fun. We hope you see it tomorrow too. Once we get through tomorrow, we're not going to do anything on Sunday, but we are going to put up our big league schedule. We'll do a game on Monday night. Haven't decided yet. I'll do a major league game. I was eyeballing, I think it's the Mets and the Diamondbacks possibly. We'll get into some more of our Japanese stuff later in the week. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as Bauer holds to the set. Down to their last strike. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into left field. Moving over now, moving back is Abina. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as the Giants are gone here in the 9th inning. And the BayStars hold on to win a 1-0 victory. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your final score is the BayStars 1 and the Giants 0. Stick around, everybody. I'll come back and wrap this one up for you in just a couple of moments. And then what we'll do is we'll give you all the out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll call it a night. Right back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for all being here. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to wrap this one up for you here as it is a 1-0 victory for the BayStars. So the scoring summary, pretty simple. 0-0 until we get to the bottom of the 8th inning when with 1 out, it was a Shugo Maki walk. And then it was a Kaito Sano single that put runners on the corners. Hayashi came in to run for Sano, and up stepped the catcher Cheyenne Matsuo. And he had a deep fly ball to left field. Was able to bring home the first and only run of the ball game. And Shugo Maki, and that is your scoring there. The win will go to Trevor Bauer, his first on the season. The loss is going to go to left-hander Yuhei Takanashi, as he will fall in this one here. I'm going to just bounce over. We'll give you the scores. We'll come back and chat with the chat, and then we'll call it a night as we look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Other games in the Central League tonight. In the bottom of the 7th inning, the Hanshin Tigers are laying a beatdown on the Yakult Swallows. It is 7-0 in the 7th. The Mazda Zoom Zoom Stadium, that game is over to a well-pitched game. It is the Hiroshima Carp knocking off the Dragons 2-0. Over in the Pacific League, there are lots of shutouts going on here tonight. There's, in fact, all games that could potentially end in shutouts if the scoring stays where it is. Lions have a 4-0 lead over the Fighters. That's in the top of the 8th inning. Also in the top of the 8th inning at the Rakuten Mobile Stadium Miyagi in Tohoku, it's 3-0 for the Buffaloes over the Eagles. And at the Mizuno PayPay Dome, it is the Hawks 5-0 over the Marines in that one. All right, everybody. Once again, we appreciate everybody who is popping in. Our friend WJR said if anyone couldn't find out how to watch, he tried to help you all. Give you some of that information. And that's the way it works. Everybody who popped into the stream tonight, thank you guys for being here. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night. It'll be the same two teams, same channel. Once again, everybody, we will catch up to you. Bradley says, give us Bauer's stats. Pretty simple. Almost 120 pitches, 9 innings complete. And it was pretty effective. He had struck out 6. And he had allowed, on our books, only 5 hits in this one. Don't have the walks in place, but I do believe he had walked a couple of batters if I did a quick scan of my score sheet. And that is pretty much the story on this one. Have a great night, everybody. We will catch you again tomorrow. Same two teams, same channel. Catch you up a little bit later then. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you soon.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.